Hi, crafty friends. So nice of you to visit me today and spend some time with me in my craft room. Welcome. I'm Sheree, and I'm here to do a flip through of another one of these little journals that I showed you, the little books that I was making these out of. This is the third one. So, making progress. This is the goodie pack, which I will show you at the end. Don't let me lose anything. So here's this one. The 10 Commandments, little Rand McNally book with these, all of the first three had, I think, or the second one and the third one had beautiful children on them. So very pretty books. And they are very old, early 1950s. All of them were. Here's the back. All in good shape, but, not really that worn, but a little bit. I mean, they are very, considering very old, even though not antique, just vintage, but still old for vintage. Here is the tassel on this one, and it is wire coil bound with these wires or coils. So let's get started with a flip through. As you open up, I put 4 pages from the book in the journal. And here's the inside of this one. This one had some paper torn off right here. I showed you that when I first showed you the books and said I would put something there. And these are some little collage of flowers here that I cut. These were cut from a shirt that I found at a thrift store. By the way, everything in here is, not printed or not digital, and a lot of thrifted things like that. So anyway, I thought that turned out pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a flower here and a flower here. So like 2 flowers put together there to cover that little tear mark. So I thought that turned out rather pretty. I'm glad it wasn't, over here or anything where the little boy was torn out. It was just a little bit of grass and the trees right there. So that worked out really well. So I in each one I left the title page so you could see the copyright is right there. So you can read that, and also it has these precious pictures in here. On here is a journal card. It's white on the back, and it's just cardstock there. I won't undo it. And you saw all my decorated paper clips I've included with this one. I'm trying to include as many as I can. Clip things in for you so you have things to work with, and some of my decorated paper clips, and then you can do what you want, move them around and write on them and layer on them, and just whatever you want to do. Use them, glue them in as pockets, anything you want to do, cut them up. So over here is a pocket, and also all the pockets I haven't decorated. I haven't really done any decorating in these. That's why they're they're a little bit quicker for me to get together, and all that reflects in the price where I've made them, very, very reasonable price, I feel like, in my eBay shop. But here's a little file folder in this pocket. This is made out of scrapbook paper. I make these. And then this is a little tag. Really beautiful little layered tag. Several layers there. Oh, it feels like there's some denim in the back. I made this a while ago. So now I'm revisiting it. See what I did here. A little bit of, this looks like, this lacy piece looks like it's from, I'm going to say, it looks like a piece from a vintage tablecloth that I have. I'm not sure if that's what it was. And then this was a little project I was involved in, a collab where we had to make fabric tags for this week and use hearts. So this is a little cutout heart from a piece of fabric. And I think they were heart shapes, and I just cut out the hearts. So very cool. And then this is a little butterfly in the middle, as you can see, that's sewn around, and it's got space to write on if you'd like to write on it in the back or journal on it. Coffee dyed paper here. This is some coffee dyed scrapbook paper. This is very old. I mean, not very old, but when I used to do scrapbooking, that's when I bought this. And then I actually found it after I started junk journaling. It was like, oh, yeah, here's this scrapbook paper. And then I had to try to figure out what to do with it. And so I coffee dyed it and cut it up, and there it is now, a page in this journal, part of it anyway, that was 12 by 12 sheets. Some ledger paper here. This is the only thing I've been putting in each one. a little, I found some of these little pieces and I thought they were just so nice and a lot of encouraging words and just, this one says laugh. So, that can be even the word laugh can be an encouraging word. Like, remember to laugh every day. You know what I mean? If you can laugh once every day, at least once, even if you're having a hard time, maybe you had something that made you laugh and there you go. Your day is better, right? So this is cardstock scrapbook paper here. It does have some of the branding on the back, which you can use your imagination to cover up. Actually, I have included in the little goodie packs some papers, so you'll be able to layer those over this if you want to. And even here's a little strip. I just realized, see, even something like that could go right there, and then you could write over here, something like that. At first you might be like, why did Sheree cover that up? Well, I left it for you to use your imagination, and you might actually have fun covering it up, right? So I think you will. I predict that you will. So pretty double-sided scrapbook paper here. This is some nice resume paper. Scrapbook paper here, one-sided. And a little drawing card. This is a double-sided one, so I'll show you this one. The other one was white on the back, but this one is, I put a few butterflies. I kept running into butterflies when I was doing this one, so you'll see a few butterflies in here. And here's one of them, this beautiful journaling card. And on the back, here's what it looks like. It's got this grid design over here, and this almost looks like washi tape, but that's the journaling card. So beautiful, right? And that is right there. Grid or graph paper here. Scrapbook paper. This is coffee dyed. And there's a lot of scrapbook paper in here and other papers that you can write on. Like, there's so many, there's so much space in these little journals. There's 50 papers, or that's 100 sides or surfaces that you have to do something with. So, you could write, if you're just into writing, you could write here. You could write here. A lot of these are light enough, these scrapbook papers, that you can write all over them or whatever you want to do. This is, some of them are a little thicker. Like, I wouldn't call this cardstock, but I would call it almost cardstock, and it's thick paper. So different, thicknesses of paper. So here's a pretty yellow one here. It has a little pattern of like flowers in the background. And here I put an envelope that I decorated on this paper clip here. And it's got a "You Are My Sunshine," and inside is a journaling spot made from a little piece of scrapbook paper. And so, it's not like you don't have to keep that in there. That's just in there for you to use as you wish. And clipped right there. So when you get something like this, just use your imagination. Sit down at wherever you craft and just let loose. Let your imagination take you wherever you may go at the time. And here's a pretty piece of scrapbook paper with a pocket over here. Another envelope, another pretty envelope. And in here is a little drawing card. And that's backed on coffee dyed file folder. So a nice little piece of ephemera. And then this is a little tag that was on. I recently, if you watch my Thrifty Thursdays, the recent one, or one that's coming up this week, or maybe last week. I don't know which day it was. It was on Thursday, but I don't know which week it was. Anyway, I picked up a little pack of Mary Engelbreit cards, little small cards. And this was the tag on it. I thought it was so cute. It's a little tag. It was all ready to go for me. This ribbon was in here, and this little tag was together with it. I thought, isn't that so cute? So I put that right there. And then this is coffee dyed composition book paper. I love how that turns out. I explained in my last video, if you didn't see it, how the blue is from the lines that, kind of disintegrated and dissipated over the page. I think that's so cool when that happens. And then here's a bird. Here's another pretty journaling card in this journal. Isn't that beautiful? Little hummingbird. And on the back, record keeping. Isn't that clever? Record keeping. I thought that was clever. So I put that in there. Beautiful and clever on that one. And then little piece of scrapbook papers here. Pretty papers. That one's double-sided. Pretty piece there. This is one of my journaling cards that I made out of my own personal photos, where they were 4x6 size photos, and I cut them in half and made little journaling cards so you can write on the back. And it's a beautiful lake scene there. So that is in there. Coffee dyed pink paper here. Beautiful scrapbook paper. Here is, this is cardstock, and let me show you them. See what I mean about the butterflies? I kept running into them, so I was like, whoever's going to get this journal must love butterflies or something, because I just kept running into them. I was like, okay, I guess it's meant to be, you know, somewhat of a butterfly journal here. So, little butterfly here. Yeah, this was a little card that I decorated. It was just this black and white, and I added that little circle, and this is like a 3D sticker here. Simple, but look how beautiful it turned out. So that is there, and it's blank inside, so you can write inside. This is my paint residue dyed paper, where I used up some residue on a paint bottle. I added water to it, shook it up, dumped it out, and dyed some papers with it. So that's what that is. Oh, here's another decoration I put in this one. Little flower collage here, or cluster, with a vintage button. Very cute. And this is coffee dyed composition book paper. This is some of my own painty papers here. It's cardstock that I had painted on. So, yep. And a page from this book. Beautiful scene here of this boy and his dog looking up at the sky. And on this side, this was, you know, this book's called the 10 Commandments. So here's, you know, I think a lot of the pages will have a picture, and then they have the commandment on the back or a verse. So very cool. And this would be a great little gratitude journal or prayer journal or anything journal really, but since it's, you know, a Bible story related children's book, it would be good for that too. Great little gift, and so many pages in this little book. So this is a little wallpaper tag here. I backed my wallpaper onto some cardstock, or a file folder actually. And oops, let me straighten up my paper clip. This paper is the resume paper here. This is cardstock. There's oh, I put a couple pages here, or at least I think I put a couple in here from oh gosh, I can't think of it right now. What's the name of that book? Let me show you the page, and then when I think of the name of the book, I'll tell you. You may even recognize it. I don't know. I when I normally see these pages, I think of it just like that. Of course, when I'm on video, something happens to your brain, and sometimes you can't remember things. But beautiful. This looks like this is how the book is. And if you recognize it, you know that her books are like this. And she has these beautiful watercolor looking flowers in her book. And I thought it was really appropriate for this book to have something like this in here. And here it is. Good morning, God. Little poem and verse over here. And also, you know, so just a nice page to, I mean, you could do some writing on here. You could color this little flower right here. Or it's just a nice page to read if you would like to do that. And then this little page here, scrapbook paper, it's double-sided. One of my coffee dyed papers here. Oh, I did put another decoration in here. Wow, 3 decorations in this one. I'm going crazy. Little spirograph, one of my spirograph. I think this is the last one, so now I really do have to make some more. But this is when I first got it. I made a few of these, and there's a little button in the middle, so that's there. Pink coffee dyed paper. Yellow scrapbook paper. This one is coffee dyed with a pocket. And in here, one of my wallpaper tags. 2 of them, actually. Very different. Oh, and here's another tag in here. One of my little round circular tags. That's backed on some cardstock. I'm trying to think of what it was. I don't know. Some kind of cardstock. Another one of my painty papers here. And Helen Steiner Rice. I knew I would think of it. Helen Steiner Rice, that's what that page was. Anyway, here's another one, Coffee Dyed. And it's got some nice words, some of her nice words and poems and things she puts in her books. And one of her flowers over there. And on this side, see, it's a fold out. You have a lot of room right here to write or put a picture or whatever you want to do. But, you know, I could just see some little handwritten notes there. Written, that would be beautiful. This is the last of this paper. Not the last of it. I think I have another 12 by 12, one or two. But I had mentioned that I cut this one up and it had a little teapot on it here. And so this was the last one. See, I was hoarding the teapot. And now this was the last piece, so I couldn't hoard it anymore. Apparently I was saving it for last. Anyway, here it is in this journal. So beautiful, right? I don't know if you remember me mentioning it, but if you saw my other videos where I talked about worked on these journals or did a flip through, I mentioned that, and it's very beautiful. I love it. Page from this book. Here's the part you can read, and then it has this beautiful, scene here. Got the rainbow and a little boy there, looking up at the sky again. Very beautiful. And some beautiful scrapbook paper here. Gorgeous. Graph paper. Scrapbook paper. Cardstock. Scrapbook paper. Scrapbook paper. This has some writing on the background here. So you would just use that as a background and put whatever you want on top of that. White on the back. Resume paper. A pocket here where I have a blank tag in here where you can decorate, but I have a pretty topper on it. So this is just a base ready for you to decorate. And then here is one of my scrappy tags, or journal cards actually. It's really neat on the back. I don't know what that is, but I love that there. The backing I used on there. I don't remember what that is though. Very interesting. I have no idea what it is. Maybe a piece of file folder. I don't know. I love the color though. Anyway, there's that pocket on scrapbook paper. All of these are scrapbook papers here. And this is the last page from the book. All of the pages from the book I did reinforce with some washi tape on the side, which is glued on there. So they're, sturdy and won't tear out because they are, I don't know how brittle they are, but I just didn't want to take a chance. And see they're browning. And like I said, early 50s probably. You can read the copyright, but if you get this, but beautiful girl there looking up at the sky again with that rainbow. Like the other side of the rainbow from the boy. The boy was on this side, I think, with the rainbow going this way, and she's going that way. And then they did this in all these books where they have the last page matches the inside the back cover. And again, another pretty little verse here. Nice little verse to read. So that is the book, or the journal. Turned out really nice, chunky, as you can see. And that's because of all the ephemera I put in here. But, yep, I put as many pages as I can in there and then stuff it full of ephemera for you. So let me grab the goodie pack here. So in here, again, I put 3 tabs. Here's the third one. 3 little tabs. I make these out of my scraps. I've got a little bin full of these little pieces that I've cut into, like pieces like this that you can just put a little glue inside here. Little glue. Put it on the side of a page, and then you have a cute little, eclectic, random, fun little tabs for your pages. And then these also you can cut up and make tabs or just use these as a decoration. Sorry, dropping everything on the side of the pages. So 3 of my little strips I sew together from my scraps, and they're all sewn, zigzag stitched. Down the middle, this one has a piece of rickrack, as you can see, so that's interesting. Oh, this one has a piece of fabric on it. So you never know what's going to get incorporated into these little strips. 2 pockets that I've made out of, these are, what size are these? 3 by 5 Rolodex cards. See, they're little pockets, decorated little pockets that you can put somewhere in this journal if you would like, or in another journal if you have one. That little strip that I just showed you, that you can use to decorate or cut up, whatever you want to do. 3 little pieces of, also these are good for, you know, putting on a page, covering up something, or making a writing spot. Coffee dyed papers, little coffee dyed papers. And then these are all coffee dyed too. This is a piece of, this was actually a piece from Computer Stationery, and it had these little dragonflies. Those are little dragonflies. See, it's coffee dyed, and then there's little dragonflies down the side there. And then some more paper here. Good size of coffee dyed piece that you can cut up and use to cover up something, or make a little, you can make a flip up, flip down, just whatever you want to do with your paper. Have fun with your paper. And here are the rest of the pages from the book. Beautiful, beautiful colors and pages. And that is it for this one. Thanks for watching. When you see this video, it will be in my shop. And also the next one is going to be this one, Cowboy Dan. These are just 4 books. If you didn't see where I talked about that, or maybe you forgot, I said I was going to pull out a stack of books like this that I have that's about this, like, I don't know, 8 inches tall. And I pulled out the first 4, and they were these books, and I was going to go through them and see which one do I want to make. But the first 4 I pulled right off the top were so cute. I was like, I'm just going to go with these, or I'm going to be here all day, you know, because they're all cute, right? So, I mean, that's why I brought them home. So that's what I did. So this is next. Very cute, from the same time period. And then I have 2 videos that have been requested. One is a journal, and one is kind of a how do I do something. And I'll show you, I'll do those videos soon. So look forward to those. Well, let me just tell you, one is how do I do the little, in case I forget to do a video that someone asked me to do, just ask me again. But the one is a Raggedy Ann. Somebody wants to see the Raggedy Ann journal, a book made into a journal. And then someone else wants to see how I do the little golden spike and keep it. You know, how do I keep it instead of just cutting it off? So those are 2 videos I'm going to do. And then if there was anything else that anyone asked me to do, I don't have it in the top of my head right now. I'd have to review my videos. But if there was anything else, or if you have something in mind that you've been wanting to ask me, but, you know, you forgot, or, you know, you were going to mention it at some point, go ahead and mention it under this video so I can add it to my list, because I know that's fun. I like to you know, answer your questions in a video. It's you know, this is fun for me. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.